All right, let's see how to work with forms in Angular. Okay. Unfortunately, forms are not supported right out of the box in Angular. Just like any other library or framework, it's a huge framework and has tons and tons of different features, and some of them you just have to turn on demand, right? So it's not hard. It's just one additional step in the app.modules file. In the app.modules files, you need to explicitly load the forms module, right? And then further down in that file, in the apps.modules file, in the imports, include forms module in that array of modules that are imported. Now you have modules. Now your application can deal with modules, with input fields, drop downs, anything that has to do with forms, checkboxes, radio buttons, anything that is form related. Okay, so that's the only caveat, that the only thing you need to keep track of, you need to do to turn on dealing with modules, with forms. Okay, once you've done that, then modules are available to you. Okay? So one of the things that turns on is the ability to interact with input fields, drop downs, checkboxes, radio buttons, anything that has to do with forms, right? What allows you to do is to bind variables that are declared in the controller, allows them to bind them to input fields in the view, right? And the way we do that is as follows. Here's an input field. Here's an input field that says, I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to create a variable that is called course title. See that over there, course title? So this input field is declaring a local variable called course title, right? And it does that with the Angular attribute called ng model. ng model. ng model says I'm declaring a brand new data model. Right? And that data model could be a single string. It could be an entire object. Right? That can have a whole bunch of fields in there. It has a whole bunch of arrays. Right? But here's just a string. Just a string. Right? So notice also the parentheses and the square brackets. See that ng model? Right? The parentheses means that the data flows from the view to the controller, meaning that this variable is also available in the controller. Right? So I'm going to push whatever happens to this local variable. The controller is going to be notified, right? That something happens to this variable. If the controller cares, maybe they don't care. I'm going to send it to the controller. Yes. The square brackets tells me that it's also double bound. So if there is a variable called course title in the controller, if the controller does anything to that variable, I'm going to notify it. I'm going to notify the view. So the data flows in both directions. This variable is bound here in the template, and it's bound on the controller, right? And any one of them changes the value, they're going to notify the other one. Make sense? Right? So this specifies the way the data flows, right? Parentheses, data flows from the template to the controller. Square brackets, data flows from the controller to the template, right? And you can specify if you only want one way, right? Maybe you don't want double binding. Maybe you want single binding. The data flows one way, like a read-only operation. Right? That goes only from the controller to the view, but then the view can't change it. Right? Then down here we have a button, and this is the same button we had earlier. Right? This is the same button we had earlier to add a course. The difference is that here we had a hard-coded string. Remember that? It said new course. Right? It was just a hard-coded string in the previous example. Instead here, is referring to a variable that is being declared here in the template, way up there, the course title over there. See that? Right? So whatever I type in the input field, that's exactly what I'm going to send when I click on the add course, right? And that's going to call the same function add course, which is going to push into the array, right? And it's going to re-render the page with the new course, right? Right, so here we have an input field, right? So I type Alice. It's a good name for a course. Oh, username, sorry. So I'm typing a username right? And that's bound. That's going to be bound to the ng model, the username variable, right? In the view, and it's double bound, right? Whatever happens to the username, the controller is going to know, right? If the controller changes the value of the username, it's going to come back and update the input field, right? So it's double bound. Make sense? So in add course, it's the same thing we had earlier before. The only difference here is that, notice that we're doing the same thing, right? We're creating a brand new ID. We're pushing the new object into the courses array. The only new thing here is that we are updating the course title, right? In the controller, right? In the controller, we are blanking it. We're saying after you type the new course and you say OK, add course, right? We're going to clear it, right? So it becomes blank, right? So we use it first to add the course, and then we clear it, which is very common, right? Once you submit a form, you clear the form, right, for a new entry, ready for a new entry. Okay.